Hello and welcome to Jewelry Projects. What we're going to do is we're going to do a simple Briolette wrap. I'm going to take a piece of wire. The length of wire depends on how long the hole going through your bead is. This one's quite short. I'm going to use a little bit bigger piece of wire just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Now you want to thread the wire into the Briolette, and then from here you want to do a little bit less than halfway. From here, your option is to either use your needle nose pliers, here I'm using bent nose pliers, and fold the side up. Or, what you could also do, which I like to just do, is to just pinch them so that it becomes a triangle like that. You want to kind of slip your finger in to push the triangle down, so that you're got two little antennae here, like a little bug. Now from there, you use your pliers to hold the triangle together. And then you want to twist the shorter end around, making an L shape, and bend the longer side up. Here you want to straighten that out a little bit. Now you have an L shape from your pliers. Take your needle nose or bent nose. I like the bent nose because it keeps my hands out of the way, so I use those a lot. You want to wrap this bottom wire around the top wire at least once to get a good solid wrap going on there. Now from there, take your round nose pliers, put it right at the bottom, like that. You want to turn this going the same way as your first one so that they're parallel here. And then here, make sure that you turn your pliers 90 degrees. And then again, bring this over. And then you want to turn your pliers back again so that it goes all the way around. Now, what I like to do here is make sure that both wires are going towards each other. So as you can see, the bottom wire, when I'm turning it, it's going to go counterclockwise. And the top wire, while I'm turning it, will go clockwise. This will allow the wires, when they meet up, to touch each other. Now, if they're both going one way, then they're going to be sitting next to each other, and you'll have an open gap over here. This way they'll go different ways and you'll be able to meet them up. Okay? Now you have your loop. Take your bent nose pliers or needle nose pliers and hold that nice and strong. And then with your other hand, wrap this wire around. You want to kind of hold it out a little bit and create an even tension going all the way around. And also make sure that it sits next to the wire that you've already wrapped it around and not overlap it. Now we have the two wires coming close together, and you want to take your flush cutters or your snippers, whatever you want to call them, and try to get as close to the wrap as possible without cutting anything except for that extra tail. Now when you're cutting, you want to put your finger at the end of it, like this, and that way it won't go flying up into your face or across the room. Now you want to do that with both of them. So now remember the finger, and that'll just hold it in place. Now you have two little tails sticking out. It wants to give you a hug. Take your needle nose again and just tuck those in nice and neat so that they don't scratch anybody or get caught on anything or become a danger. Now, to check to make sure that you've done that properly, just kind of rub your finger against it and it should be okay. Now, if you can see closely, the two wires met up together so that they don't overlap. Now here you can kind of squish it down together a little bit if there's a space in it, but then you have to make sure that you tuck it in again. It's very important to tuck your little tails in. And then you want to look at it and make sure everything, see how it's a little crooked? You want to just kind of straighten everything out. Now when you're doing your loop, you want to make sure that you know which direction it's going. Sometimes if you're adding this to, say, a jump ring and then an earring hook, you would want it to go perpendicular. So remember to think about that before you start. And then you have a beautiful, basically wrapped briolette.